It is another soaker of an evening across central and eastern Kentucky, and I'm tracking the potential for some high water just ahead.
A sinkhole opens on a southern Kentucky road. How the weather is getting in the way of fixing it.
The coroner finally released the name of the man found more than a week ago outside a home in Clark County. We're talking with his family.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Showers and thunderstorms continue to push across the area this afternoon. Heavy rains could cause high water issues. The good news, a break is on the way. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking it all on this WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Chris?
Guys, normally this time of year we're talking about some heat, humidity, dog days of summer, typical summertime. This has not been a typical summer by any means. Instead, we're talking about a low pressure center that is working its way right on top of Kentucky. That just doesn't happen very often in the summertime, especially in the dog days of summer that we're seeing. And out ahead of that, rounds of showers and thunderstorms are pinwheeling around that low pressure. So the heavy rain threat, at least on a local scale, continues to increase as that low marches across the bluegrass state. Southeastern Kentucky, scattering of raindrops. We get into the Hindman area of Knott County, back to the west in the northern parts of Perry County, over toward Lee and Owsley counties, and into parts of Breathitt County. Some very heavy downpours. We'll keep an eye on the creeks and streams across Bath County, where you had some significant flooding several days ago. Parts of Frenchburg, Moorhead, down into West Liberty with some heavier downpours. A little bit of a break in the action, Cynthiana, Paris, and on the east side of Lexington, but now look at the rain starting to increase again from west to east. Capital city of Frankfort coming down at a pretty good clip. That'll roll its way on into Georgetown. Thunder and lightning now just to the northeast of Elizabethtown along parts of the Bluegrass Parkway. So the heavier rains will continue to settle in, local high water, but all of that comes to an end later tonight. We get much better as we go into later Friday, and then a fall-looking pattern, a September fall-looking pattern in the 7-day forecast when I come back here in a little more than 10 minutes.
Thanks, Chris. Heavy rain caused a large sinkhole to open on a southern Kentucky road. The hole on Kentucky Business 90 in Wayne County is 30 feet deep. As WKYT's Phil Pendleton shows us, the rain is also disrupting work to fix the problem. It's our top story at 5.
Part of this road has actually been shut down for several weeks, but overnight the situation became a lot worse, forcing the closure of the entire road, and now it's not known when it'll be reopened. It began by what state officials described as a small dip or a crack in the roadway, but 2 weeks ago the small problem on Kentucky Business 90 near downtown Monticello grew into a much larger one. That's when they say they first discovered the sinkhole. One lane of the road was closed, but overnight the problem got a lot worse and the hole much deeper. Now it's 30 feet deep and more than 20 feet wide. Part of what's seen here, though, is man-made, as officials say they've been working to excavate what they are calling bad material.
They have excavated down, and I think they've just about got down as far as they can in the bad material. You know, time will tell if there's anything else that's underneath there.
The work to fix the project was actually awarded through an emergency contract, but while I've been here, they have not been doing any work. We'll tell you why coming up at 6 o'clock. But for now, in Wayne County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
There are homes and businesses near the sinkhole, but officials tell us they are not in danger of being damaged. After more than a week, the Clark County coroner has released the identity of a murdered man. He says 33-year-old Daryl Wiseman died back in May. His body was found beside a home on Twin Fork Lane. Roger Kinney is behind bars in Ohio, charged with murder. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is in Clark County talking with Wiseman's family about why they never reported him missing.
The coroner told us the medical examiner used dental records and orthopedic x-rays to identify Daryl Wiseman's body.
He lost his dad when he was 2, lost his mom when he was 15.
Daryl Wiseman's aunt, who didn't want her face on camera for fear for her own safety, said her nephew's losses in life never kept him from loving those still with him.
He was big-hearted. His heart was the biggest thing about him. He would do anything for anybody, help anybody with anything.
The 33-year-old was independent.
Daryl was always one to do his own thing, and he was always saying, "Don't worry, Deb, you know, if I need you, I'll call." And he would always say, "Don't worry, Deb, you know, if I need you, I'll call." And he would always say, "Don't worry, Deb, you know, if I need you, I'll call." And he would always say, "Don't worry, Deb, you know, if I need you, I'll call." And he would always say, "Don't worry, Deb, you know, if I need you, I'll call." Especially if he hooked up with a female I didn't care for.
Roger Kinney is charged with Wiseman's murder. Investigators say the two men knew each other. Kinney is already in custody out of state on an unrelated charge.
Sheriff Perdue says Kinney is still in Ohio. He has to resolve charges there before they can bring him back here. In Winchester, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Wiseman's aunt plans to bury him at their family cemetery when the investigation is complete. A man accused in a pizza delivery driver's murder answered to the charges today. A grand jury indicted 22-year-old Trey Relford in April. Police say he stabbed Salahuddin Jitmood to death at an apartment building on Trent Circle. WKYT's Victor Puente shows us what happened during this afternoon's hearing.
Police say Trey Relford killed that man back in April. Originally, he was one of 3 people charged in that case, but a grand jury dismissed the charges against those other 2 men earlier this week. Relford was arraigned this morning in circuit court. His attorney entered a not guilty plea for him. The body of Salahuddin Jitmood was found April 19th at the Walnut Hill apartment complex. He was working as a pizza delivery driver at the time. Relford, Antonio Lewis, and Cameron McClellan were all charged with murder and first-degree robbery. The charges against Lewis and McClellan were dismissed Tuesday when that grand jury decision was revealed. Relford was indicted on charges of murder, robbery, and tampering with physical evidence. After his arraignment, his attorney said this case could take some time.
No, there's some things we're going to have to do. So, I mean, I would think it's going to take, we'll be well into next year before we get any kind of resolution on it, I would think.
Relford will be back in court for a pretrial hearing on September 17th. He also has a status hearing scheduled for October 9th. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Relford is being held on a $750,000 full cash bond. A hearing for a Lexington mother accused of killing her son by giving him too much vinegar continued this afternoon. Dia Adams' 5-year-old son Joseph died in 2011. The defense is trying to block the testimony from the medical examiner who performed Joseph's autopsy. She's expected to say Adams forced her son to drink the vinegar. The defense argues vinegar did not cause the boy's death. We're tracking the investigation into a body found in a school parking lot. Richmond police spotted the man's body during a patrol at Cottle Middle. The Madison County coroner doesn't think the death is suspicious and is waiting on toxicology test results. Investigators are looking into how the man's body got there. His name has not been released. State police arrest 2 people wanted in a burglary. Our county-by-county coverage at 5 begins in Knox County. 33-year-old Steve Jones and 26-year-old Thomas Cupp were arrested yesterday. Police say they stole new refrigerator unit condensers from a warehouse on Liberty Church Road last month. Both are charged with burglary. In Wolfe County, there is still no sign of a camper missing in the Red River Gorge. 31-year-old Josh Adkins disappeared from the Coomer Ridge campground Saturday. The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team is asking people to be on the lookout for any clues. If you have any information, you should call 911. The Grays Arch Trailhead will be closed Saturday so rescue team members can pass out missing person flyers. The Republican candidates are getting ready for the first presidential debate of the campaign. The 7 candidates at the bottom of the polls are debating right now, while the top 10 will duke it out in prime time. Greg Boswell is outside Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, where tonight's debate will take place.
On behalf of the board,
Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker opened the Wisconsin State Fair hours before he and 9 other candidates take the stage in the highly anticipated Republican presidential debate. The big draw, Donald Trump. The billionaire's unfiltered style has given him a double-digit lead in the polls.
There's a lot of potential things that could happen.
Sean Spicer is the chief strategist for the Republican National Committee.
Do you see any bigger wild cards than Donald Trump?
Ask me Friday morning.
Senator Rand Paul says he isn't afraid to mix it up on stage, but he'd rather focus on the issues.
I don't think we should just sort of succumb to, oh, well, you can just say anything and, all of a sudden we're in some sort of reality TV show. I think there needs to be a substantive debate.
The debate will last 2 hours. In order to save time, the candidates will not give opening statements. Because the field is so crowded, the 7 candidates trailing in the polls are having a debate of their own before the main event.
What we're doing right now is having the opportunity to be on a national stage and with a lot of really good qualified people and be able to set yourself apart.
This is the first of several Republican debates before primary voting begins in February. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Cleveland, Ohio.
The primetime debate begins tonight at 9. A truck carrying 7 BMWs caught fire this morning on I-75. Find out what sparked the flames.
There's a few things parents should remember when giving their children medicine, what to watch for later in Better Living.
And the National Weather Service took a closer look at damage from Monday's storms, what they say caused the problems in one area, on WKYT News at 5:30.
Low pressure bringing a lot of bad, but eventually some good. That is up next.